What's up, roller booters? All right, we both know why you're here, to see these, the new Lomaxes. But if you do end up liking the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and unbox the new 2021 Lomax Aeon 60 Pro skate. So my buddy showed me a trick to unboxing these. I think this is the only skate you can do this with, so let's try it real quick. Okay, cool. Looked like it worked. All right. There she is. Excellent. All right, so I haven't owned a pair of USDs since the old Feinbergs. I'll put up a picture of them right here. There's probably some clips of me somewhere around in them, but yeah, I've really been a Razors guy. I've been skating cult boots the last probably 3 years since I've actually gotten back into skating, and really like the Cults, but excited to try out some new skates. Haven't had USDs in a long time. Tried out my buddy's Aeons, Karlis Bowman. Shout out to Karlis, I'll put his Instagram down in the description. But I skated his Aeons probably 2 years ago, and I think it was like the team boot, I'm not sure. Karlis, let me know down in the comments. But I remember thinking, oh my gosh, these things are like the Ferraris of rollerblades. At least that's what I thought at the time. So, just super light. So again, this is the 2021 Nick Lomax USD Aeon 60 Pro skate with the MyFit second skin liners. And so we'll just kind of go through it real quick. You know, rolling 61 millimeter 90A wheels, all flat. And so the standard Aeon kind of unibody construction where the shell, the sole plate, and the frame are all one solid piece. And I think that contributes to making the skate so light. Even rolling flat, man, this thing is super light. Really excited. So I really love the color. Man, the gray just looks so nice. And so starting, I guess, at the top here. So the buckle, I mean, solid buckle. It has these cool, like, kind of keepers at the tops and bottoms. And I'll show a close-up of that right now. But that's kind of cool, kind of like a sawtooth design. I'm like brand new to Aeons, so for all you bubbas out there that have been skating on Aeons a long time, like this is the first time I've got to play with these, so I'm really excited. And if I geek out on some like really basic stuff, you kind of know why. But anyway, cool buckle. Coming down this cuff. So I didn't know this until like I just bought these skates, but this rockerable cuff, to where you can rocker it up or down. You can see, and I'll put a close-up again right here, where you can adjust the cuff either up or down based on how much flex you want. So that's kind of neat. Right now these are rockered up, so who knows, maybe I'll play with that, maybe try rockering them down. The laces, these feel like they're nice, like heavy-duty waxed laces. I've never used waxed laces before, even though I've been told to look into them a lot. So I'm excited to check these out for sure. And then they have these eyelets. So I asked Tom at Carriers, and again, I got these from Carriers. Wonderful shop. Check them out down in the description below. But Tom at Carriers, you know, I asked him, I said, I thought these came with like a 45-degree strap. But they come with these hooklets, and I'll put a close-up right here. That kind of serve as like a 45-degree kind of power strap for the laces. And so I think as long as maybe you don't use the top eyelet, I'm gonna kind of figure that out on the fly today, but I think if you don't use the top eyelet, you can just use the last wrap on these eyelets here, these hooks, these kind of hooked eyelets at the top, and then crank them down to get a nice solid fit to keep that heel seated in the heel cup. The soles, right, man. I'm coming from Cults, which aren't known for massive soles, and these things, holy cow, these are hefty boys. Negatives, good size too, holy cow. So I don't do a lot of negative tricks, but I'm definitely gonna try some today, unless I forget, which I'll make a note or something. But yeah, I'll try some today just because, holy cow, like how can you not at least try with these big old negatives here? Again, the wheels, 61 millimeter rolling flat, 90As, USD Aeon wheels here. Big old H block, man. And so I've skated anti-rocker like my entire skating career, except for like my first 1 or 2 pairs of skates. I had some K2 250s way back in the day. I think I skated those flat. But I've skated either anti-rocker or freestyle basically for the last like 15 years. And I've always been in that boat of like, oh, I'm not gonna skate flat because I won't be able to skate ledges. And thankfully, Tom kind of talked me out of that, talked some sense into me. And so, especially with, I mean, look at all that space you have, right? And so worst case scenario, if I don't end up liking them for ledges or whatever, throw some anti-rockers in there and call it a day. But I don't anticipate having any issues, but we'll find out today. I guess the camera doesn't lie, right? But yeah, rolling flat, big old H block. We'll see how they do on ledges. Really excited to check them out. And then for the liners, so I've been skating some MyFit, I guess they're second skins. I got these as hand-me-downs. Thanks, shout out JaQuan Owen for hooking a brother up with these in San Antonio. So I've been skating, I think, similar liners, if not the same liners. So it shouldn't be anything terribly new. But, cool liners. I think feels like the neoprene toe box, which I think everyone's doing nowadays anyway, with the laces at the top. Kind of cool. They color matched the inside of the liner to the shell, which is kind of neat. I'm assuming this is for like some kind of like slip, like anti-slip or something. I'm not sure. You got the Lomax grab straps, close up. And then, I don't know, man. These just feel like nice liners. We'll see how they work out, but I'm sure they're gonna be great, but time will tell. And then, back to the shell, have your standard little footbed. And then this hefty boy, big old fat heel pad. And so this is a welcome change from the Colts, because I've been avoiding gaps kind of like the plague, to be honest with you. Whether it's a combination of getting old or just the Colts or whatever, but this is big. So really excited. And then I'm sure all you Aeon Bubbas out there are gonna be like, really, Ben, you didn't know that? But like, I geeked out on this. So like, if you look in the shell, like you can see the wheels from the shell. I've never seen that before. Again, I'm like living in like basically 2007 technology here. So seeing this was super sick. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm probably forgetting something, but that's kind of my initial impressions. I mean, I love the way the skate looks. Super light, you know, and we'll just see how it skates, you know? So we're gonna go to Chisholm Trail Skate Park here in the Fort Worth area to session with some locals to get some initial impressions on these Lomax Aeon 60s and give some kind of feedback on them later when I get back in San Antonio. So anyway, we will see you at the skate park. All right, roller booters, just got back to San Antonio from Dallas. And so ready to kind of share my thoughts from the first session on the Nick Lomax Aeon 60s here. First of all, shout out to the Dallas crew for being so welcoming. It was a lot of fun at Chisholm Park, at Chisholm Skate Park there in Dallas or Fort Worth area. Dallas crew is super awesome. So shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, so I figured we'll just kind of start off with the bad, the cons. What did I not like about the Nick Lomax USD Aeon 60 2021 Pro Skate? Well, give me just a second because I have my notes here. Yeah, there's not really anything that I have that's materially negative to say about the skate. Like everything that I have that I had issues with was due to me either not reading like the user manual or just my specific like foot. So I hesitate to even share some of this stuff, but I'm going to anyway, just for the sake of putting it out there. But it's like cringeworthy that I'm even saying some of this stuff. So like number one, like again, this is just from what I'm used to with the Cult, is like these take a little bit longer to put on and take off. Like the laces are pretty hard to undo after you're done skating, which they're waxed laces, and I'm pretty sure that's their job, is to not come loose. So it's not really a negative. So in terms of fit, like I said before, I usually wear a size 10 to 10.5 shoe. And when I first put these on, they felt perfect. They felt like they fit true to size. After skating them for like 15 or 20 minutes, they felt a little bit roomy, so I went and cranked them down, and I don't think anything came loose for sure, but I think I just didn't crank them down enough to begin with. And so after going back and really cranking down the laces on the liner and the skate itself, they felt a whole lot better, but even still just a little tiny bit roomy, which I'm like confident, 100% certain that when I switch back to wearing a little bit thicker socks, it's gonna completely solve that issue altogether. So really no factor. That's like on me, that's not on the skate, right? And again, I think if I wear thicker socks, it's gonna completely be a non-factor. One thing that did confuse me a little bit when I put them on and went to ratchet them all the way down, not all the way down, but was that, you know, like the cuff was getting in its own way. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but long story short, I had to trim a little bit off of the cuff, which after looking at the cuff itself, it's designed to be trimmed. And so again, this is my first time skating these, and so you can see these little perforations, I guess. And so I trimmed off just 2 of these little guys because after like trying to ratchet down the buckle here, like the material itself was getting in the way and I couldn't close the latch. And so I know a lot of you Aeon guys are probably rolling your eyes like, yeah, that's normal. Again, like I didn't do like any research before buying these. So this is like completely square one first impressions on these. Like I have zero like bias or anything going into this. So like this is true first impressions for me. But yeah, so long story short, I had to trim off this, which it's made to trim, and it took literally 60 seconds for both skates to solve that issue. And now there's not an issue. I can ratchet them down as much as possible. Like I literally just took a pair of Leatherman tool and just put a little snip in it, and then it just tore right off. Like it took 0 effort. And so literally not a hit against the skate. I should have read the manual, which I totally didn't. But so yeah. And then like the last negative is these things are too fucking fast. I'm totally kidding, but they're super crazy fast. Like honestly, I don't know if it's a function of riding flat, riding 61s, if they're just super light and fast, but like whatever it is, these things haul ass. And obviously that's not a bad thing, right? It's always better. I think it's easier to throttle it down than to like be limited by the skate. But so I'm totally joking with that being a negative aspect, but these things are fast, very fast. I found myself having to like scrub off speed by like sashaying prior to tricks because like I put the same amount of effort into accelerating, and I find that it's much more effective on these skates. They're really, really fast. Okay, so not really a negative, but that's what it is. These things, like just getting around the park and everything was like, it felt effortless compared to what I'm used to. Just getting literally to places where I wanted to go do tricks and like little step ups, like I felt like they sprinkled magic in these things that like reduce the amount of effect that gravity has. So anyway, let's get into the positive. So I'm gonna start off with the flex of the skates. Because, you know, I don't know if I'm the only one that does this or whatever, but like the first time I lace up a pair of skates, the first thing I do is kind of like give them that like shimmy, that little back and forth, just to see like what kind of flex that I'm working with here. And I'll say that once I got these nice and cinched down and kind of rolled around a little bit and felt them out, the amount of flex is like impeccable. I wouldn't change a thing, because I've skated skates in the past where, you know, okay, cool, like I wanna go do a gap or I wanna go do skate transitions, and you're like, okay, well let me tighten them up a little bit. And then, okay, cool, now I wanna go do top sides on ledges, let me loosen them up just a little bit to give them a little more flex. I didn't have to do either of those things at all. It's like true set and forget. Like that's kind of the theme of these skates, in my opinion, is you pull them out of the box and go shred. Like, don't even think about it. That's my impression. So that's the flex. So talking a little bit about like the fit and the comfort, I guess. We already talked a little bit about fit. The comfort, I mean, I skated these for about 2.5 hours straight today, and not a single hot spot, like nothing. They felt fantastic. Again, just a touch roomy, but we're just gonna move on from that. But like absolutely no hot spots, no pain points, no trigger, nothing, man. These things were super, super comfy. Big time. What else? So let's talk about the soles. I mean, we talked about it earlier, but man, the soles and the negatives on these things are massive, and no issues locking anything. I think I did my very first negative sweat stance today, and it was first try. It was super clean, and I don't really attribute that to me being good at negatives, because I literally never do them. I'm just not a big negative guy. I think it was the skates helping me out a little bit. Between the flex and the negative space that you have here, man, if you can't do negatives on these skates, I think you just need to practice negatives more, to be honest with you. So really, really impressed. As far as speed, I guess you know, how well they slide, I was really looking out for that, because that was a big point of contention, kind of a concern with me going into this, was, okay, are they gonna slide well? And they slide really well. There was a couple times where I was grinding something and I was like, okay, it's kind of slow. As soon as I put a little bit of wax on it, it slid like butter. So it wasn't the skate's fault, it was the obstacle that needed a little bit of wax. Obviously, you know, we'll see what that looks like over time. But again, there's those UHMW adapters. I'll show a picture right now. I think they're like 60 or 70 bucks that you can add on. If they start to slide slow, that will remedy that. So that's an option if you want to do that. All right, so that's the sole plates. All right, let's talk about the big ticket item, was the H block and riding flat. Because again, like I mentioned before, I've ridden anti-rocker and freestyle like for the last 15 years that I've been skating. And I've always been in the camp of like, hey, I need anti-rocker to grind ledges and grind anything, because I'm too afraid of wheel bite. Well, I'll let you know today, I might be a flat skater now. I really put him to the test as far as H-block tricks on the ledges, as far as topside tricks. And the only wheel bite I got, I'm pretty confident I would have got the wheel bite on my anti-rocker setup anyway, because I just wasn't positioned on the ledge appropriately. Like, it was on me, it wasn't on the skate. So anytime I was actually doing the trick correctly, it slid fine with really no wheel bite. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be a member of the flat crew now for a while, maybe forever, we'll see. So anyway, H-block, fantastic. And then for the groove here, like the angle, I think was really nice, honestly. Like I really tried, you know, torques, and kind of was expecting, you know, I feel like torques are one of those things that you kind of have to feel out in a skate a little bit just to find that sweet spot where you really like can balance. Same thing with kind of backslides. But man, first try, like torques, backslides, everything. Like that angle of attack, if you will, like was really nice. It was a little bit steeper, I feel like, than the Colt, maybe just a hair, but like it was perfect. And I think that angle from the backslide kind of groove here to the H block sets you up to not have wheel bite on ledges. So I think that's completely appropriate and fantastic. I mean, it was great, like laced everything in terms of that today, which was perfect. So what else? As far as like shock absorption, again, we talked about the shock absorber in this guy being pretty hefty, which is great. I didn't do any like gaps today or anything like that. But just from rolling around and just kind of landing off of rails and ledges and whatever, like felt comfy. So maybe like no news is good news kind of thing, but I found that they felt fine, you know? So I'm not a big gap guy anymore. Maybe I will be with these skates now. Maybe I'll start jumping some stuff because I actually have some shock absorption. So I think that pretty much sums up most of my initial impressions on these skates. I mean, really, like right out of the box, I was doing tricks that I did not think I was gonna be doing today, and especially not like first try. So absolutely love the skates, 100%. I mean, they're like, I think $400 before tax, and I personally think they're worth every dollar. And Nick Lomax is not paying me to say that, I promise. But extremely happy with these skates. Really excited to continue skating them and really getting even more acquainted with them and posting some more edits. So stay tuned on the channel for more edits with the new Lomax Aeons here. And yeah, absolutely. If you're in the market for new skates and this is kind of within your budget, you know, I think they're a fantastic option. Again, I have like literally nothing bad to say about these skates. Felt like they gave me like a small sprinkle of superpowers today. It's strange. Anyway, so that's the review on the Lomaxes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the clips from earlier, and make sure to like and subscribe if you do like the content, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. And I will see you next time, Roller Booters. Take care.